Hey, and welcome to the QB Show, starring Woody Adams, Don Brolin, and myself, Stacy Kildall. We'd like you to take a minute to visit our sponsors. Our show is brought to you by the following: Avalara.com, an amazing sales tax engine to help you make sales tax less taxing. Exact Online, an online inventory solution specializing in manufacturing and distribution. Tsheets.com, an amazing time tracking solution. Skyline from UnidataIT.com, QuickBooks and software hosting. And Zencash.com to help manage your accounts receivables. We hope you enjoy the show. So I guess maybe the video won't work. So what we're going to have it won't work the way I want.
We can stay here awkwardly for another couple minutes.
That was awesome.
I thought if I just played it, then it would go. So again, we're learning. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to do a screen share. And so we'll go that route. How about that?
The QB show, here we go.
I'm going to do a screen share.
Mm-hmm.
Start it again. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Here we go. Oh, and you can't hear it.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work either.
That was a heck of a good try.
So I guess I don't really get how it works. It doesn't. I don't quite understand.
It's all right.
How the videos work. So
shall we just kick it off old school like?
Yeah.
So we just kick it off old school.
All right. Well, we would like to welcome everybody to the QB show, formerly Radio Free QuickBooks. And thanks for listening tonight, or watching, or listening throughout the week via YouTube. It is 6:30 Central, and June 10th. Happy to have you aboard. My name's Woody Adams. I'm a product specialist with Intuit. I've been with Intuit for a long time. And been doing the show for a long time. And though I am an Intuit employee, the opinion statements, reviews expressed on the show do not necessarily, aren't the same as or match those of Intuit either. Intuit's not affiliated with the show, and of course on with me as well as Stacy Kildall and Don Brolin. And Stacy, let's go to you. How's it going there?
Well, I thought it was going really cool. I made some intro video and an exit video for the show, and I'm going to figure that out. So we have a really nice video. You did some audio for it, and all of our sponsors gave us some really great graphics, and I put them all together for an intro, sort of a, hey, don't forget to visit our sponsors.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out how to play that and make it work in a Hangout. So I thought I had it, but I guess I don't. Hopefully we'll get the exit going. But that's how it's going for me. Dawn, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I do want to note, though, the way my camera is positioned, you can't notice, or you don't notice, my Zencash. I can't hear. Hold on a second.
There you go.
My Zencash. I'm gonna call it a coat.
Yeah, it's a nice coat.
And I love it. It's wonderful. You can move in it. It's awesome. So I'm doing great, you know, just making it happen. Try to keep those who are in conflict with the IRS out of jail. Love that.
Nice. Well, good.
It's good stuff, Woody.
Woody,
It is good.
how's
That
it
sounds
going for
exciting.
you?
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Good. I'm getting ready for Scaling New Heights coming up.
Yes.
Be flying out Sunday, getting in then, and jam-packed 2.5 to 3 days. So really looking forward to it. So I'm excited. You know, got the laundry done, and just kind of prepping the different things I want to demo.
Nice.
And Thursday, I'm actually doing the Q&A for a 4-hour QBO certification course that Intuit Academy is putting on.
Ah.
So I'm going to be 4 hours straight. It's the live course into 4 hours, it's CP as well. If you guys want to register and go through the course, just go to intuitacademy.com. And it's a live event. There's about 700 people registered, so it's honking. So you usually get about half that. So we should have 350 people in there, all learning about QBO and how to get certified in QuickBooks Online. And essentially, you come out, I think, knowing how to go take the test, and you're done. I mean, I think you're actually certified when you go through it, something like that. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. And so doing that, and then there's another QBO-related event, QuickBooks Online event tomorrow, noon to 1 Central, on just determining the right fit of QuickBooks Online for your client. So trying to help out with that, and it's been fun going on in the community, trying to answer some questions. You know, oddly enough, I would say 85% of all the questions on the community now are QuickBooks Online related.
Oh, yeah, because of the conversion, right?
It's crazy. Yeah, and I also wanted to throw a shout out for this cool, I think, Stacy, you mentioned it last week, the QuickBooks Connect LinkedIn group.
Yes.
Really been enjoying that. I think all you guys are combining into one group, and it's just some good information, and I'm looking forward to that is to go there daily.
Yeah, that came about because we were talking, I think it was Kathy Aconis and I were talking about how there's all these different QuickBooks groups. She had one for users, and we had the RFQ one, and then I had started 2 for basically kind of for some Intuit events that I had done. The training in Australia last May, and then the Find Freedom in the Cloud Your Way. And so I had talked to some of the people at PR and corporate communications, and I asked, is it okay? Is it okay if I take this Find Freedom in the Cloud Your Way group that I created? We just sort of combine everything. And Laura Redmond has the QBO Pro group that she just recently created, and all these different groups, and all of them sort of represent all the different groups that really Intuit is trying to bring together at the QuickBooks Connect Next conference. And so I kind of was on my bike, and I had one of my, what I call my shower ideas or my bike ideas, and I thought, well, why don't we sort of combine forces so that we can manage it and basically shut down all the other groups. So at that point I was managing like 3 or 4 different groups on LinkedIn, and it was just getting kind of a little difficult. And so I thought we can just sort of all put them together, and it's really nice, and people are already kind of getting the conversation started. They already want to get like a meetup scheduled, and I love that they are already trying to get that going and get that set up when we don't even have an agenda. We don't even know what's happening at the event. I mean, we don't even know what sessions or what time or anything about the event other than it's happening and you can go register right now. So really excited about it. So really kind of third-party developers, small business owners, end users, accounting professionals, basically anybody who's using QuickBooks or QuickBooks Online, we really want them to kind of come and get the conversation started. So that's what that group is. Yeah,
it's cool. Some good announcements in there. But that's really about it. I did have to open up the desktop product of QuickBooks today. You know how we don't really give free remote access anymore through the WebEx.
Right.
And I just wanted to make sure that the access points were still there, that someone could sign up, and they are. And you don't have to be in the accountant edition. Non-accountant editions, including all the way up through Enterprise, will have remote access under the File menu. And when you click it, you can sign up. When you try to log in, it's going to say your account was expired if you already had one, because it's not free anymore. and then you can sign up. And it's a typical pricing, but that's for, when you're trying to remote into QuickBooks or something like that. So just wanted to mention that the access points are still there.
That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah, and that's about it. You guys have any cool QuickBooks related or questions or things like that come up that be fun to talk about? Before we get to questions?
So one of the things that I had come up is I was doing a consultation call today, and there's my cat left over, just taking a walk behind me.
Oh, yeah.
And they were asking how many layers you could go with sub-customers in QBO. And I got to, I'll do a quick screen share here.
Nice.
But I got to, I think I got to 5 layers before I quit, which I thought was really kind of interesting. I'm going to do a quick screen share and show you guys what I did with this, because I thought it was actually pretty cool, because they have a pretty complex billing system in the way that their customers, they deal with like truck drivers and things like that. So I'm going to show you guys what I did as soon as I can do the screen share, and just show you real quick that I went 5 deep. So here's the first customer here, right. And then I just stopped. We were doing, and I said, do you need any more? And they said, no, that's fine. And I thought that was really cool, because it's one of those, another thing that I think that QBO kind of has a little bit of an advantage, because there are times, I think you could use this for property management if you wanted, because a lot of times we do property management. We make the properties the customers, and what you could do with QBO is you could make the owner the parent, and then the property the next level down, and then each tenant the 3rd level, and then when the tenants move out, you can just sort of make them inactive or delete them in QBO. So I thought I was really excited about doing this as well. And so what they have is they have different customers that are separate companies, and then each one of those companies actually contracts out to different trucking companies. So that would be the 2nd level, and then each one of the trucking companies has drivers that they have to bill for certain things, or something like that. And so they needed at least 3 or 4 levels, and so we went like 5, and I just stopped there. I'm sure you could probably keep going, but I thought that was actually kind of cool. I just
Can you drill in on that first one? I mean the last one, sorry, the last one there, the 5th one? To get another test?
I have to zoom, because this is just a screenshot, so I have to zoom in. So hold on.
Oh, it's a screenshot? You're not in QBO?
Yeah. I'm not actually in it, because this is just a screenshot that I did earlier.
I was just wondering if the bill with parent...
yeah, you can do bill with parent.
And that's going to go, and it sees the parent not as another new test, but as Freeman Sporting Goods?
You know what? I didn't look to see how it worked that way, but the option to bill with parent was there. I mean, this I think is 5 deep is slightly ridiculous. I can't imagine.
Right. Not many people are doing that.
Desktop does 4.
Desktop does 4. I thought you could only go 2 or 3.
I'm doing it. I just did it. I got a parent. 1, 2, 3, 4 under the parent.
Show us. I want to see.
No.
No.
That's right.
It's over here. Hold on. Let me do a screenshot. Can you see it? There it is.
That is awesome.
Right there. 4 deep.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's cool.
And
Dawn Brolin's version of a screenshot.
So typically, and you guys have knowing this, how really deep do you go on list elements as far as sub lists?
Not that deep.
Like 3 at the most, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It just gets confusing after that.
I know, and it looks messy and on reporting too,
Yucky.
and even so I know that's a good trick for when people have multiple SKUs of a product, but really they're very similar and different shades or whatever. And so having the main product, and then you have a shade, and then you have I always suggest no more than 3, just because it gets crazy.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, that's good. So I think list element functionality is similar between the two platforms, which is nice.
Yeah.
Dawn, any cool QuickBooks stuff come up for you?
Well, I don't think so.
No.
Not in particular. Not anything no one's ever known before. You know, it's not like that. It's not like anything anyone would care about, I think.
Well, all right. I'm just thinking of cool questions that we could pick your brain about. I have one from someone emailed me yesterday, and they want to have multiple ship to addresses when the vendor sends them something. So it's not multiple ship to addresses on a customer, and this is desktop QuickBooks, by the way. It's not multiple customer addresses or even vendor addresses, which just has the one vendor address, or even a drop to ship, which again would be customer addresses. It's I have a location, I have the QuickBooks, and I'm shipping my stuff to this warehouse, or I want to ship it to a different one, and we know that with the advanced inventory in Enterprise, you can do that. On the purchase order, you choose the address in the ship to, and on the item receipt or on the bill or whatever, it'll automatically default to that location you've set up when you have the advanced inventory add-on working with Enterprise. But they were using Pro or Premier. They did not want to go up to Enterprise for this. So they wanted to know what could they do so that when they purchase materials or whatever, they want to be able to show it received at different locations. And these are the people that have the QuickBooks. So the only thing I was thinking of would be custom fields, because I can put custom fields on a purchase order at least to show the ship to address, or maybe use one of the existing kind of customer and vendor profile list fields under the company menu that aren't being used. I know you guys will use a lot of those for those types of things. I'm sorry, lists, customer vendor profile list. So I guess they could choose one of those and just put it's just a band-aid. I mean, there's not really, I really think they should go to Enterprise. That was really my ultimate thought, thinking that that would be easiest for them in the long run. Other than custom fields, where else are you guys tracking multiple, ship to me addresses?
I'm not.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So that was one that came up this week, and we got a lot on the community, so we'll go right there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah. AP, accounts payable on balance sheet does not equal accounts payable detail report. And this is actually the same answer in whether you're in desktop or QBO, now that I realize it. So since last month when I ran the balance sheet and AP aging reports, the AP amounts do not equal. The balance sheet shows a larger amount. I'm running the report on the accrual basis, so that's not the problem. I've narrowed it down to one vendor, but I cannot get the balances in sync. So basically it's the AP amount not matching of either a vendor balance detail or AP aging. You guys have suggestions on that one?
Dawn, I'm going to let you take this one.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm trying to pick out the videos real quick.
Oh, all right. Okay. Wow, I'm just trying to think of what would be the reason. Woody probably knows the answer. He just he makes me do it.
I can weigh in.
Can you do it? Because I'm.
It's all right. I didn't mean to catch you guys off guard.
I can't find it in our list. I was not prepared.
It's all right. It's basically the report date. So you know how on because the balance sheet's always running as of a day,
and the AP detail would only show.
Right. So you click on Run as of report date.
Right.
And it'll match for the most part, and that's actually similar in QBO. So we know desktop, that's definitely the fix, and you go and customize that report. But for QuickBooks Online, when you click the Customize button, you should be able to choose report date under aging. So very interesting that those two are similar, and that's kind of an old question, I think. You get that. I used to get that a lot. That one.
We do kind of get that one a lot.
Yeah.
That one, I think that one comes up a lot, actually.
But, so here's one too. I couldn't figure out how to print a check in time to pay a vendor. So I gave him a handwritten check. So they were just like, here's a scenario. They're new to QuickBooks Online, or they just migrated from the old QuickBooks Online to the new, and they just haven't been using it much, because a lot of people have been migrated just, in the last few weeks. So let's say, and the vendor was there, and he or she was probably stressed out and just wanted to get the vendor out the door because they might have had customers. So I don't remember where to go to create a check, and even if I can, I certainly don't know how to print it in the new version. So even though there's a print button at the bottom of the check, but whatever, I get it. It's a totally new look, new user interface. So I'm definitely going to give a whole lot of leeway on this.
Right.
So, I gave him a handwritten check. So nothing has been done in QuickBooks yet. They literally just wrote a check to him to get him out the door. Now I want to record/print the check so QuickBooks will show that he's been paid. Now, first off, I don't see the point of printing it because you already gave it to him. But you definitely want to record it. That was my first thought, right? Okay.
Right.
So in the past, it gave me the option of recording the check number, and then deselecting the print option. Right, in QBO Classic, you could deselect to be printed or whatever. How do I do that now? So, Stacy, you want me to share out, or do you want to share out?
So they just needed to print the check, right?
Well, they just need to assign it a check number.
They just need to enter a check and then do that check and then put in the same check number for the handwritten check.
Right. So I'll do it.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll do a screen share. Can everybody see my screen?
Yep. Click. Nice.
Okay. So I'm in QBO, and I'm going to go, well, one thing I want to mention is that if you hit Control Alt and then the question mark, the keyboard shortcut. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out.
Control Alt and question mark.
Yeah. So, or the slash, it doesn't matter.
The slash, right.
Yeah. So the keyboard shortcuts come up. These keyboard shortcuts are all exactly pretty much the same as the desktop shortcuts, except instead of just Control W to bring up like write check, you're going to do Control Alt W to write the check. So and then to get this screen up is just Control Alt question mark Control or slash whatever. You can see that right down here brings up this dialog. And so to make it go away, you just say OK. So you can, if you would like, you can click the Quick Create or what I refer to as the Spinny Plus, but you don't necessarily have to. If you're a keyboard shortcut person, you can just do Control Alt W and you can bring up write check, right? So this person is going to write a check, and I'm going to...
Yeah, it was Bob's Burger Joint. I love that one.
We'll go with Bob's Burger.
I like burgers. I just had one. I had one last night too.
You know what, Kevin, I will say this, Kevin, who, because Dawn is married to a Kevin, and I'm married to a Kevin, and then our friend Richard Ropa is also married to a Kevin, we had to come up with distinctive names for each one of the Kevins, and so Dawn's Kevin is Hot Kevin, and Richard's Kevin is Ozone, and that, I don't know, but it comes from... Electric Boogaloo, Breakin' and Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, Special K, and Ozone. So Richard's Kevin is Ozone, and mine chose the real Kevin. So the real Kevin made some burgers this weekend, and they were absolutely delicious. I will just say that. So you're going to put, whatever you need to here in the description. We're going to write a check for $100. I'm not going to bother with the billable or the tax or anything like that.
So that's good to point out that you can assign a customer in Plus and make it billable.
I certainly can if I wanted, but I don't necessarily have to, right? So I can blow that out there. So the other thing too is you can check print later.
Print later. Nice.
So if I had handwritten this check, I would just manually put in whatever my check number was here. I'm going to put in 2112, because I'm that kind of a
got it.
Because I'm a huge rush dork, and then I'm just going to save it now. So that's all you have to do if you have if you're doing a handwritten check. But if I want to print it, and I can put in the check number that it is, and I just go down here and I choose
check. Nice.
Print check down at the bottom. The check gets saved, and I can print. I've never printed here, so I want to go ahead and I can, do the alignment, print all that. I'm finished with my setup. So you definitely want to make sure you go through and you do that that setup.
The painful print setup. That's what I'm going to call it.
Yeah, it's harder. There is less flexibility with aligning checks in QBO than desktop, for sure. I know we're working on that. I see that on the forums a lot. They're not sure how to align it. And there's a little wizard you go through, but it doesn't do a lot of stuff. I mean, so...
No.
Right.
And if you happen to be at a different printer, you can always, from this screen, if you go to print checks, you can always get to that print setup down here at the bottom as well.
Nice.
So if you happen to be on a new printer, because I know sometimes I have a little portable printer that I use when I'm working up in my living room. I have what I refer to as the oppressor, which is my giant color laser all-in-one that hovers over me very menacingly. It's actually sitting next to me right now. So you're just going to pick the checks, and then you go preview and print, and then just go ahead and print them. And basically it's a PDF is what it is. And so you can just go here and you just print and you choose. There's my oppressor right there. My brother, the MF, and the MF is very distinctive. I just want to tell you, everybody knows what that means because this printer, that's what it is.
Nice.
Yeah. I love the printer, but it's just this hulking mass that sort of it tries to intimidate me a lot and tries to say you're neglecting me because you don't print, because I never print. And so then you would just go ahead and you print and you're done. And you close it. And then you say, and again, you know what, I'm going to say this, and I know people who've used QuickBooks for a long time know this already, but I tell everybody who's new to QuickBooks, you never, ever click done until you actually have those checks in your hot little hands and you have verified that each and every one of them has printed correctly.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Because the minute you just blow through this screen and you say, yeah, they did print correctly, while they're still, those 30 checks are printing, that's the time that the printer is going to decide to take a big dump on all of your checks and eat them or just stop working or whatever. And so make sure that the check is all done and everything is good to go before you say, yes, they all printed correctly. And then you just click done. And then you're it. I mean, that's it. You can just
That's cool. And where's another place they can go to, like, print checks, like from a batch area in QBO?
Another area? There's another area?
Yeah, you click the Transactions tab on the left, in the left sidebar.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I mean Transactions
left.
on the left, the sidebar, the blue area.
Oh,
The
yeah,
dark blue?
over here. They can go to, like, the register.
Oh, wait,
They
where's
can
print
do
checks?
expenses.
Print check should be there. Are you in a oh, you're in a sample file.
I don't have
That's
any
why.
checks to print. Yeah, I don't have any checks to print.
No, it's because you're in a sample file.
Oh,
If you weren't in a sample file, under the Transactions, the last option right under Registers is called Print Checks.
I did not know that.
Yeah, or it says Print Transactions. Yeah, it's like a grid. Here, I'll show you.
Okay, I'll let you screen
I'll share out.
You know what? You learn something new every single day. Like I just learned that whole thing where you can match plus add with my. I wrote an article on the show blog, where with my unemployment payment, the rounding was off. If you guys go and look, it's really really cool. I think I showed it a couple weeks ago. I just learned that. I just learned I'm going to learn this. I didn't know this.
No,
you just found the report in the home screen. I'm going to.
Oh yeah, well yeah, we got to show that too. Although
it's not in the sample.
No, you have to be through. You have to be through QBOA or as the accountant user. I'll show you.
Then I can go ahead and log in and do that.
So here's print checks right here under Transactions, print checks, and you won't see it in the sample company file. It just loads the kind of what you have in the queue, and it's I can print checks, tax payments, payroll, sales tax, checks right from here. Right. So, but yeah, so I do agree. The setup is just not as flexible, robust yet as say the desktop one for that is true gone.
It's just painful when you have people trying to just print checks and they already hate you. That's the thing.
All right. Now, fair enough. And I sent it up. Yeah, it's some little things I've been noticing. So let me unshare. And Stacy, you have QVOA going?
I'm going to log in right now. Hang on one second.
Nice.
I'm going to log in with
yeah, that cool little report thing is sweet.
Yeah, you know what? And it was you were cracking me up. So tell the story while I'm logging in. Woody, tell the story because it's actually kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny.
So I guess what's happened is I've been going into QVO just as a regular user for a while, a company admin, and not really going through QVOA or even as an accountant user, because I'm just the stuff that I'm doing or the videos I'm recording have really have nothing to do with QVOA right now. And I guess it had been that way for a couple months or something. So I go into a QVO file from QuickBooks Online account, like Friday or Thursday, and I saw this search field that's really a get to reports really fast field at the top left of the QuickBooks Online file you're in when you're in as the accountant user or through QuickBooks Online account. And why I keep differentiating those two is because I can go to qbo.intuit.com as the accountant user and I still get all these features. I don't have to go through QuickBooks Online account. But a lot of people are because of, wholesale billing and
Right.
multiple staff, things like that. But you could always go to qbo.intuit.com as the accountant user, and you'll still see an accountant home, and you'll have all these accountant tools. But there's a cool thing when Stacy gets in. There's just a a report field in the upper left. Do you want me to do it, or are you in?
I'm looking for. All of a sudden, I can't get into my Stacy K account.
That's all right.
It says it's
Let me
been
try to
deleted.
share again.
Hold on, wait one sec. It's saying I have no access rights to any of my QVO accounts.
Share again. Hold on. No.
So I logged
This is
into
my VO user. Are you guys seeing my screen? Anybody?
I'm logged into your VO user, and I can't get to anything.
Nice. And I'm going to go to Office. Oh, there it is. New QBOA.
I did.
And I'll go in as the there he is. Okay. There's my profile you got to choose because I have a couple of different business profiles linked to that email, as I'm sure you guys do too. Make sure you choose the right one. So when you launch a file from here, like I'll do the SNH Alamo file because that's where we're going to be next week. I'm going to file for ready to go. In the upper left, go to report. That's what it's called. That is sweet. I can like go to all these reports that are accountant will want to know about. A lot of different reports. Go to report, and I thought they just added it like last week, and everybody's telling me no, it's been there for like a year, and I'm like, what? How do you miss? No one would miss that space next to QuickBooks. So. I mean, why would someone miss it? They wouldn't miss it. It's actually. So then I got really worried about, myself, as a person and trying to make it in this world and, like my humanity and stuff. And so I asked the product person and they said, no, it's been there for a while. I'm just like, unbelievable. So obviously I've been going in just a regular QBO, which I am here, obviously. I'm just in as a guy. If I go to manage users, a guy, I'm in as a company admin. Like, I think I'm the master admin. Maybe not. I think I might be a company admin. Yeah, I'm the master admin. So I'm always in as this email. And then here's my accountant. And, here they are. But they have this cool thing. And on any form, really, I think, let me see. If I go to, like, a delayed charge, yeah, it's just always here. No, maybe not. I think you have to be on, no. You got to be on the home page or another report. It's not on a transaction per se. But this is cool. We showed this a couple weeks ago. Shows all my recent delayed charges that I can go to. Like that. That's nice. So yeah, this go to report thing. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Anything else? I can't remember. No, I think that was about it. Unshare. Okay, back to it. So is the sharing, is it staying on the computer or is it bouncing back and forth?
No, I think it's good.
Nope.
Good. We're getting that. Very nice.
We're figuring it out. We're learning.
That's good. All right. How do I create? Oh, Dawn, here's a good one for you.
Oh, good.
No, it is. How do I create inventory for items I do not sell directly to my customers? I have sheets of drywall that I stock in my warehouse and use different amounts per job, and I would like to just track them as inventory, but I don't list them on my invoices. I mean, not like in each individual one. I just want to know what the stock I have, but you know, I have to know how much I have, but I don't actually put it on an estimate or an invoice or sales receipt or something like that. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they have to relieve it somehow, and you have to relieve it through the item. They could sell it at zero through a sales receipt, not tied to a customer, which is nice about a sales receipt. You don't have to tie it to a customer.
Nice. Genius.
That'll relieve the inventory and hit the cost of goods sold as she's using it, but yet it's not tied to the job, which I think is a little awkward. Only because she's not getting proper job costing, but maybe it's so massive she doesn't care.
They don't care, yeah.
Which is totally fine. But selling it at zero with no customer will at least relieve the inventory and keep that correct.
And that would still debit COGS, right?
It'll still make the transaction. It'll still hit cost of goods sold. Still relieve inventory.
That's a great idea, Dawn. I would have never thought of that. So
it's only one a night, though.
The no customer sales receipt, because on the forum I was saying just make an adjustment to COGS, the inventory adjustment. So what's better about the sales receipt versus the inventory adjustment window? So
you have the ability, first of all, inventory adjustment, although you can choose the adjustment account, you could choose it just the same as anything else. I feel like it's a cleaner way to do it. I have a client who does sell inventory to people, but they also use the inventory internally.
Yeah.
And so because they're doing that, they still need to relieve the inventory, but they're not selling it. So we do sales receipt for all in-house use of inventory. We use the sales receipt so we can track it and at least be able to see it, but it's at zero. Is it better than doing an adjustment? I don't know if I know if that's true or not. I just find it cleaner and an easier way for me to report on the inventory. It keeps the transaction type the same, or at least sales receipt or invoice. But adjustments are just hokey. You don't want to use an adjustment unless you're truly making an adjustment to inventory. It's just for me a principle, but that's how I have people do it. I feel like my head's always to the right.
No, that's good. Let me.
It's okay, but that's brilliant, and I've never heard.
It is.
That's seriously like one of the. I've never heard that ever.
I'm all set. Can you just record? You can record that. Just play it over and over.
Yeah. So I'm in. You guys see my QuickBooks desktop?
Yeah.
So I got an orange outline. Wait. I don't like orange. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, good. Show people how to change the color of the ribbon. That's good, Woody.
Right. Yeah. Edit preferences, desktop view, and now the default is now dark blue, which is nice, but I kind of like the forest green. I think that is very nice color.
I appreciate that.
That's cool.
I like green.
Now yellow's kind of, I don't know, it's not really yellow, it's kind of gold. And then the red is just like something's wrong. Like I feel something's wrong when I'm in a file and I have it red outlined, right? Because red is always wrong. Right? You know what I'm saying? There's always something wrong in red. Negative numbers are red. You know, when you're a kid and you put in lime green is disgusting. When you actually like handed in a paper and you got it all marked up, teacher used red. You guys see where I'm going. But I don't mind brown so much. So I'm in there, and Dawn, basically, here's my QuickBooks Pro. It's an inventory part. And instead of doing this, which, if I was your pro advisor, you'd probably be better off with Dawn, because I would have just said, just adjust 20 on hand for that.
They're not
choose
better
your
off.
COGS, and you can choose a job or not. But they did say, but I don't want to tag a customer, which makes a lot of sense. So Dawn is basically going to a sales receipt, enter sales receipts, sorry. And no customer up here. Or do you guys do for all the in product, do you like create a customer called internal or something?
No, it's the guy who does it. It's just one less thing for him to do.
So a good question. So I'm going to do they sold several of these things. Where is my? Hold on here.
You got a bad template there, buddy.
No. I'm going to change it. Where is my quantity column? That's funny. There we go. Okay. So I got my quantity. this is where I wish QBO had too. You know, current availability tracking, all that stuff will be cool. So let's say I took out 5 QB Pros for something, and then no customer, leaving it blank, save and close. That's done. And now,
You just pull a P&L for today.
or I could do, right, because you can't do sales by customer, or couldn't I do a quick report on the
You do a quick report on the item.
and shouldn't have much. Here it is. So again, no name, but I want to bring it up and do the Jason Tomactor trick. Control Y, and I debited cost of goods sold. Nice. Without having to do an inventory adjustment.
Yeah. It's hot.
I think we just hang up now. That was good.
Hot.
Done.
It's fun.
Nice, Dawn.
Those are fun little
Great,
ones. You know why?
That
Part of it too is that they're used to doing sales receipts. To get them to do an adjustment and pick the right account, not going to happen. And I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of the people that I work with,
Right.
you know, I just don't want them doing quantity adjustments.
No,
so.
I hear you. I hear you. No, that's good. I love it. How do I associate a payee with an account so every time I enter a payee, the account comes with it? Stacy, this was a QBO question.
A QBO question?
However, there's a similar way to do it in desktop, so it doesn't really matter. But you know how you write a check, and it's for, you know, Staples, and you want the next time you write a check for Staples to autofill or remember the account that it was associated to.
Yep. Yes, you can do that. So in desktop, you can actually assign, right, the vendor to an account.
Totally.
You can't do that in QBO. But what you can do is you can set a preference to make it remember. And I'm logging in. Do you have yours up? Because I'm
Yeah, totally.
I'm having realm
I'll share it
issues.
again.
I'm
Excuse
having
me.
realm issues again, which means
It's okay.
yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
Or wait.
All right. I'm sharing out. You guys see my screen?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
desktop actually has it at the, I'll just show that first.
And I
On a
log, while
vendor,
you're showing it in desktop, I'll log into QBO and get to preferences so I can show it in preference in there.
So in the desktop, there's the preference. So while I wait there, I'm going to go to edit preferences, and then you have general, and it's automatically recall last transaction for this name. So, or pre-fill accounts for vendor based on past entries. So you could choose, I think either one. This one's pretty good for that. But really, for the vendor itself, when you go to the vendor and edit the vendor and click Account Settings tab in desktop, you can choose up to 3 accounts that autofill. And it's interesting. So that's something to consider. Now, you might notice if you change, like let's say you've been paying Staples the same office expense account for years, and then it always comes up, everything's great. Then you change it to some sub-account under office expense for whatever reason. And it might not come up. I think there was a thing where it would take like 3 times for you to save the vendor transaction before it would like stick. I don't know if that's still the case, but I remember that call in support a lot. So if you don't see it right away, I would go into the vendor and change that to that first transaction under account settings to it. And then, Stacy, are you in QBO or you want me to jump over there?
I'm actually in there right now.
All right, let me unshare.
Yep. So hang on one sec.
All right.
I'll get there. I promise. I'm struggling a little bit today. I'm just saying. All right, here we go. So, settings. Okay. So I'm in the settings, and the way that you get to settings is you're going to go to your gear icon. I'll show you that in a second. But if you are in your settings and you click on the advanced, so almost everybody should have the new settings interface, which is what we're looking at right now.
Yep, you're right.
You have your company, sales, expenses, blah, blah, blah. So I click advanced, and then you want to go ahead and pre-fill forms. You want to check this pre-fill forms with previously entered content. And if you click on this, it basically is just going to remember the last transaction for that customer, vendor, employee, whatever it is.
Right.
So there's really no way, like if I go to expenses, oh wait, I want to go ahead and say done with that, and I'll get back. So to get to the settings, I'm clicking my gear icon or my company name, basically the same thing. We say the gear icon, but you can actually click on the company name as well. And then I go to company settings. If you go to expenses, see, there's not really any place to assign any vendor and assign it to a specific account. So really the only place to get to that is to go to the advanced section, and then with that automation you want to go ahead and pre-fill those forms out, and then just make sure you click done. So that's how you're going to do it in QBO.
Right, and then because there's no account settings option in the vendor record either.
Right, yeah, and you can't go, and that's the other thing too, I should probably do a screen share and show the vendor record as well. If I go to the vendor and I go here to Bayshore, so what I did was I clicked vendors, and then I clicked directly on the name for Bayshore Oil, Cal Oil, and I want to choose edit. There's not really any place for me to assign an account.
Right.
So I can, have the company name and the display name and the print on check and all that stuff and say it's 1099, but I really can't assign. There's no place you can see. There's no place for me to assign a specific account that's associated with this vendor.
Yeah, I gotta.
You really can only do it in that company settings is really the closest that it gets.
Customers and vendors, I kind of, it's so weird when you come over to the new QuickBooks Online and I get the list, and then but it's not really a center. There's respective center per customer or vendor,
No.
So you can just totally focus. And I kind of like the overall customer or vendor center from the desktop. I do like that everybody's there.
Yeah, I do too, but you know what? Once you start playing with this, I actually kind of like this, because if I go to the vendor section, basically, it gives me that kind of money bar that we see in the customers.
True,
so I can
do like that.
And I can filter, and
like
if I want to just look at my open bills, I can do that, and then I can go directly here. See, why is this is a weird thing that it apparently got saved, Blog Talk. And this is, this is not the sample company. I thought I was in the sample company still. Woo! I was like, why would this get saved?
Right.
So I like that I can go and just look at the vendors that I deal with. Sometimes a lot of, clients have vendor lists, and they're not using all of those vendors, and they have kind of a messy vendor list. So if I go to my vendors, I can filter by open bills. I can filter however I need to.
That is nice.
Or I can go ahead and view all, and I have my vendor list here.
Right.
So I can go and I can view all if I need to, and then all I have to do, and the one thing I was going to say too is if I click on here, I love that I get all the transactions as well. So it's kind of,
yep.
It's
target focused on that list element, which would be this vendor. Yep.
And when I first started using it, I was kind of the same way. I was like, I really like even the old classic QBO vendor center kind of thing. But now that I've been using this more and more and more, I really like it, because it really narrows it down to the vendors that you are currently dealing with right at that second, or that have anything open. And if you have to get to something with a vendor that doesn't have anything open, or there aren't any transactions, all you got to do is clear that filter and you have your whole vendor list. So
yeah,
really
I like that. That's fine. Yep, that's good. Thanks for explaining that.
You get used to
right.
it. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say I still am on QBO Classic, and I emailed. I know I mentioned this last week, but I emailed the migration team, and I asked them specifically if I could be the last account migrated to the new QBO, because irony. Like I'm still on Classic, and so I thought, well, I want to be the very last person.
Very cool.
And they said, yeah, conceivably we can do that. So I'm gonna make them. I think I have the option when I log into my company file to convert, but I'm gonna make them force me to do it. just because. So I'm really excited about it. And did we talk about it last week at all? I can't really remember because I had so many conversations while I was in the booth about it. Is that migration is being sort of, I don't want to say forced, but yes, forced by the end of July. And so
I thought it was June.
the original plan, I was told the end of July.
Oh,
and
really?
mine, if you log into my company file, it says that it's going to be converted by July 24th. And so
Oh, wow, okay.
the original plan was to have everybody converted by the end of the year, and to kind of let people convert as they felt comfortable and as they were ready to do it. But that has been
No, people are getting converted without even,
well, and the reason why, do you know, the reason why is because Firefox and Chrome,
right.
At the end of July, they are updating, and their
Right.
updates are going to absolutely positively, it's not even going to be a
You
preference.
can't open QBO Classic, right, yeah.
They won't allow any pop-ups whatsoever. Like as part of the browser, if you go to a website that has pop-ups, you won't be able, those pop-ups will not work. And so with the QBO Classic, the old school QBO, that has a lot of pop-ups. When you click on Find, it's a pop-up menu. When you go to, print a check, it's a pop-up. And so it pops up in like another window.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with the new QBO, when I go to Find it's sort of like that. I don't know what it's, something specific, but I always call it like a curtain that drops down, like when you go to write a check. And so if they don't update and they don't force the migration, the people who are on QBO Classic and won't be able to use their product in Firefox and Chrome, which is why they're doing it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. A lot going on.
Dawn, what do you have to say about that?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like the Classic at all, so that's so I think it's good.
You don't like the hovering? Or what Woody has always called hydroplaning?
Where I like my relationship with some people, so I'm not going to say anything.
No, it's horrible. And here's the problem. With the old QBO, you'd have to hover, or as Woody always called it, the hydroplaning.
The hydroplane across the horizontal bar.
And when you're demoing, and if you're having kind of an off day, when you can kind of vouch for this,
that's tough.
Sometimes when you're having a hard time computering, is what I always say, you drop that. You
lose your place.
Yeah, and then you have to go all the way back over. It's just such a pain. Yeah. It's just a pain in the ass. So
I know.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad for the new platform. Good. But it is healthy that the QB show supports and has supporters of both QuickBooks Online and the desktop. Fierce supporters. Because the desktop isn't going anywhere, and there's a lot of people who love it.
Do you know what, Woody?
And that's awesome.
There may be a time that it will someday, but I'm just saying that right now it can't, because QBO is not where the desktop. I mean, come on. Can we be real about it?
No, I know.
Because we can, because we're doing it's just a show about QuickBooks.
Right. And even when
Just trying to do a show about QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Even in a couple of years, when I think QBO will be like Premiere, let's say it has all of Premiere functionality, I still think we have desktop for several years after that.
Well,
I would think five at least.
There's still people who are using desktop from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's more than that. The QuickBooks Online has to get, like, Enterprise can't be. I just don't know where that's going to go. If QBO became like QuickBooks Pro, would be a big deal.
Well, it has.
I have a solution for Enterprise, and I can get you Enterprise. I can get you Enterprise with QBO. Like, straight up, I can get you Enterprise functionality with QBO.
How big will the logo be is going to be my first question.
Pardon me?
How big will the logo be?
How big will the logo be?
Yeah.
I don't know how to.
On invoices.
Oh.
So 1 inch by 1 inch for the love of simpleness.
Oh, and
Come
you know what
on.
also? Squarish. That's my favorite thing. It used to say when you would upload it, it would be like, pick a square-ish, and it actually said that. Like, your logo has to be square-ish, which cracked my ass up every single time we did it. I would go upload that. It was so funny.
Printing and logos. It was start there. You got to start
Yeah.
there.
No, I hear you.
It's good.
No,
It's
so
okay.
I can
It's
still
totally
imagine.
okay.
I can still, yeah.
Stacy's already muted me and shut off my video.
No, I have not. No, and you are front and center. Cameraman is on you, sister. Because I'm actually looking for a picture. We have one more really good question, and Dawn, I specifically want you to answer it. And it's, I'm going to ask the question, right? And I want you to talk, because you have minions. I only have, I don't have minions. You have.
I think I have a whole bunch of them. Like
right,
a whole.
You have minions. I don't have minions.
A ton of them.
So the question is, how do you normally train your staff on QuickBooks Online? Do you train them yourself, have them become QuickBooks Pro advisors themselves, or have training through an outside organization? I don't know, like maybe they call Stacy. There's a lot of people who call, you or me.
They don't call
or
me
Woody
for QuickBooks Online training. Let's make that clear.
Well, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
So, or do you?
I do.
I have a staff member who is an accountant and works well with the old version of QuickBooks Online, but I'd like to get her efficiently up to speed with the new version. So that's my question, you, Dawn, is how would you train your staff?
I will answer this very easily, with especially the fact that it wouldn't be me training them, because I want them actually to learn correctly. So that's the first answer. It will not be me, Woody. Not going to happen, buddy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's QBO or, for the most part, anything else. I mean, I do training with my team for accounting-related training, right? The debits and credits, and it's more than software. Like, you still have to understand when you're doing something, what is the effect, regardless of what you're using. But if it was QBO specific, number one, they would. Both of my staff, I only have two. Stacy thinks I have, she pretends like I have these millions of people. Two's plenty. They're amazing, phenomenal, and I don't want any more. I don't want to take a chance because I have it so good. I can't take a chance. But they are both pro advisors, and they both go through the pro advisor program. They both have to be certified, and they both had to get certified in QuickBooks Online. And I think that the training that Intuit does provide, and of course Stacy does a lot of that training. And I probably need training, but I'm just not willing. It's just who I am, because I don't have time. But I know that I could.
You don't.
I really don't. If I did, though,
you don't need training because
I really don't have time.
All you do is you.
Stace, just answer the question. Answer it now. Also within 10 seconds. Don't delay a moment. But I really believe that there are so many things that, and I had watched a Trainer Writer Network call that I missed because I just had a lot going on. But I watched it, and I know that there's a lot of things that I don't do well in QBO, and it's primarily because I don't take the time to teach myself or to get online and take that time. But I know that Stacy has a ton of awesome ideas and awesome methods of how she does some kind of like tabs and stuff, and Google, I don't know, you could be multiple Google people, that's what I would call it, right? Google with tabs and stuff, and I think it's just too much for me. And you know what? In life, and even in QuickBooks, there are some things I don't want to know. Like, I can be an expert at what I want to be an expert at, and Stacy's going to be an expert at what she wants to be an expert at, and Woody's going to be an expert at what Woody is an expert at, and that's totally okay. The question was, what would I do with my staff? And certainly it would be send them to more qualified people than me. Because being in the Pro Advisor program, getting connected, Stacy has a lot of awesome articles out there and videos, and Woody does a lot of videos, and I just want to say use Google. Because seriously, I have clients that email me and they're like, how do I do this? How do I add you as a user, as the accountant user? I don't explain it. I go to the Google, I type it in, and I copy and paste the link, and I say, rock it. Just, here you go. This is the best way to do it. Sometimes I don't even know who the people are. It doesn't matter to me. Can they follow the video and get me in there? That's what I care about. But I really think that your staff, when you have staff, you've got to get them trained. And I don't see the value in me teaching them, even QuickBooks Desktop, which I rock at. I kill it. I beat the crap out of QuickBooks Desktop. I don't kick the crap out of QuickBooks Online. I'm good at it. I'm good at it for what my clients need, but I'm not awesome at it. And so I would give them the direction to, use a professional who knows what they're doing in QuickBooks Online, and it wouldn't be me. And I think that's, in a lot of ways, a waste of our time, which I had an interesting discussion. I'm going to rabbit hole it, Woody. You don't care, do you?
No, I'm just hanging. It's fun.
Okay, you'll reel me in when you feel like it. It's funny, I was meeting with clients, but also some colleagues of mine that, it's a tough time when you're ready to either hire an admin or do the things yourself. And in some offices, in some cases, there are things that, like for attorneys, for example, they have to operate in a certain way because they are regulated. They have to have certain procedures in place and do things a certain way. So people are like, who writes checks anymore? Guess what? Attorneys do. And you know what? They have to in a lot of ways, and there's things around that. But anyway, I was like, hey, listen, why are you doing X, Y, and Z when your admin can do it? Because you charge, $400 an hour when you're paying admin, a really good admin who has paralegal experience, maybe $30 an hour. Let them do it for that $30 an hour. None of us want to let go of the $30 an hour, but for every hour you're working, you're losing $370 an hour, maybe only $300 with your overhead. But you're losing $300 an hour, and I think that that's really important that people keep that in mind as they're making those decisions. That's why I rabbit-holed it a little bit. I went a little bit dark because my screen's shut off. Sorry about that. It was not intended. But anyway, that's my answer, Woody and Stacy. Those are my answers. A whole load of them.
Well, there's a lot of training on Intuit Academy. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff on the Quickopedia site. There's a lot of stuff. It's all over the place.
There's a lot of stuff on the QBO show.
That's right.
That's right.
Page. Right.
That
is a lot of the basic stuff. Yeah, we got. I would just go there.
So
Fine.
before the show ends, because we're going over, I have a quick screen share that I want to share for, this is specifically for Dave Leary and his boss, Lori. They asked me on Twitter what kind of unicorn I was, and so I just want to say that I created this all by myself, and this is the kind of unicorn I am, because I was talking to them at the LA show and about how I used to refer to myself as a unicorn because I was the only pro advisor that I knew that was not only actively using QuickBooks Online, but I was also recommending it to clients. So I just wanted to share that. And then I'm going to try and play the video, and I'm going to hope it works so that we can exit out. So I'm going to do one more thing before we end the show, and I hope this actually really works, because
yeah, it's be sweet. If not, we'll just run down the sponsors and who we thank very much for.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug this.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'm gone. Coming. Well.
All right.
Coming.
Yeah, we're ready. We can't hear you, but I think we're ready.
Now, next week, just while Stacy's going with it, next week we'll be at Scaling Your Heights. We actually won't have a show next week. We will be back on the following week, though, on the 24th. That'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully have some recorded stuff as well. We'd like to thank all our sponsors, though. Let's go down the list there. Of course, you see Stacy and Don's shirts, Zencash, zencash.com. Yep, right there.
Yep.
AR services, processing, also hooks up a QuickBooks Desktop and QBO, and it, a lot of sending messages to your clients, things like that, reminders. Even they'll do some of the collections. And then, of course, Avalara, Avalara.com, as I know it, Avatax, but Avalara, sales tax, sophistication, management, GPS tracking, ship-to-address tracking. It's just really sweet. And they're out of Washington. I forget the cool name of the town. But anyway, we'll see them at Skilling Heights, too. I'm looking forward to seeing any of those guys. So Avalara, Avalara.com, QBO, and QuickBooks Desktop, of course, integrates with both. Any sales tax issues you have, just hook it up. It's going to save your clients tons of money. Unidata, UnidataIT.com, QuickBooks and Microsoft Office hosting. Love those guys. They've been with us from the very beginning. We're getting some cool new Unidata T-shirts at Skilling Heights. I hope to wear one 2 weeks from now for the show. And then, of course, Exact Online, exactonline.com, and that is manufacturing warehouse management. And Don, I am drawn. Oh, of course, T-Sheets, tsheets.com, online time tracking, also works on the phone. They are worldwide. I was on the National Advisor Network meetup today. Ronnie Tay was there demoing, and actually they were just talking about the apps, and QuickBooks is being more of a platform now because it works with third-party apps. And Jessie Bryant from T-Sheets was there, so it's good to have her weigh in. So we'd like to thank all our sponsors for sponsoring the QB show. Thanks for your patience when, as we're getting through some of the beginning technical difficulties, as we're metamorphosizing.
Wow.
Metamorphosizing. I'm not sure if that's a word, but I think so. I can say it, so it might be one. And,
it is now.
It's probably the most syllables I've ever said. But anyways, we are transforming the platform to the Google Hangout. You can listen to it on YouTube, and I know we'll clean it up. So we'd like to thank you guys for watching the show. Stacy, you got anything? No, we can't hear Stacy. Don, thanks a lot. And then we're gonna hang up. We're gonna go NBA Finals. Go Spurs, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Take care.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle.
We're high up in the clouds and we're never coming down. So get up, get up, get up, get up in the cloud. High up in the cloud and we're never coming down. So get up, get up, get up, get up in the cloud.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle.
We're high up in the clouds and we're